wanted to make a video on bass guitar lessons. So I'm going to keep this very basic, on a very beginner level. I think the bass is very easy because it only has 4 strings if you have a 4-string bass. And you're only playing one note at a time. So it's easier than piano where you're using both hands, or guitar where you're pressing down several strings at the same time. First of all, one of the most important things is tune the bass. And they have tuners. I have a clip-on tuner that I put on my bass, and it lights up. You don't have to have it plugged in to an amp for it to work. You'll pick up the vibrations off the bass, and this one, when it's in the green zone and it's giving you the name of the note that you're trying to play, then you're in tune. And you always want to tune up to the note, not tune down to the note, where you could leave slack in your tuner and it would go flat faster. So if you're sharp, tune it down below the note so it's a little flat, and then bring it slowly back up to where it's in tune and it's not sharp or flat. So that's pretty easy to do. You can get apps on your phone that have tuners for free, or these clip-on tuners, or there's pedal tuners. Those work really good. They're a little bit more expensive, but those work really good. And when you step on them to tune, it also takes your bass out of the circuit, so what you're plucking doesn't come through your amplifier. So it's all quiet as far as your tuning process goes, so nobody hears you, projecting a noise someplace where you're in public. So that makes it really good. So you don't need to know all the notes on the fret, all the frets on the fretboard to start out with. Basically, you have the 4 strings. The thickest one, this is the one down here, the closest to the top, is the low E string. It goes E, A, D, and G. Those are actually the 4 same low strings on a 6-string guitar, but they're of course an octave down. So this is open, is an E. If you press on that first fret, that's an F. Then it goes up by half steps. Every fret is a half step. That's an F sharp. It's also the same as a G flat. Then you have G. Then you have G sharp, same as A flat. Then the next string, or next fret, is an A. You already saw that one coming, right? Now the thing about that is, that's an A. This next string, open, is also an A. So you don't necessarily have to play up as far as the 5th fret. You can play all your notes down below. You could have, all you need to know first is the notes in the first 4 frets. Okay, going on. A, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D. Okay, this D on this fret is the same note as the next string played open, D. So you don't necessarily have to play on the 5th fret. You could play the next string open, which is D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. What do you guess? That G is the same as the next string open, G. So you don't have to play the 5th fret. You can play the next one open, G, G sharp, A, B flat. Alright, G, B flat, B, B, C. All depends on how far up you want to go. But from the low note, E, up to this 3rd string, 2nd fret, is another E, is a whole octave. So just between this string and this note, you have every note you could need to play. Okay? So you don't have to master the whole fretboard or go way high up on this, whatever. They're all right in here. Okay? I want to keep it really simple. You should have a strap. Even though I'm sitting down, I play with a strap when I'm sitting down. Because if you play when you're standing up, you have to have a strap. And you want to keep your bass in the same position to your body when you're practicing that you would be when you're playing. So everything is orderly and systemized, and you're used to what you're doing. Someone was commenting on a video recently of playing the bass. You're sitting down, your back should be straight, and you rest right. If you're right-handed, you rest your bass on your right leg, and your foot is on the floor, and therefore your right leg is at a 90 degree from your knee down, rather than sitting back on a couch, slouching, whatever, getting in some kind of a position where you would not be in the same position if you were playing in a band or playing in church. I'm going to show you just plucking with your fingers. You also could use a pick. I use a felt pick. When I do use a pick, I don't use a hard plastic pick like a guitar, because it's more of a hard sound on a bass, more of a bright tone that you don't necessarily want. But this is a very kind of a muted or a soft tone to pluck with. But you don't even have to have that. You can just use your fingers. And it doesn't really hurt because you're only playing one string at a time, and they're pretty fat strings. You want to kind of anchor everything. Let's talk about the bass, where it is. Resting your arm. I know in this video it's kind of hard to see everything, but you have this curvature of the body of the bass, and basically you're resting your arm on this. They call it the bout, the upper bout and the lower bout. See where it sticks out, then it curves in, it goes back out again. Call this the lower bout, and you keep your forearm there. And basically what I normally do is I will rest my thumb on the low E string, actually touching the string, and then use you're only using these two fingers to pluck with, not using the thumb to pluck with, just using those two fingers, and I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so having said all that, okay, so the basic, very fundamental in playing hymns, I'll play a hymn here, play along with a hymn, is you play the root. I'm not going to try to get too much theory here for you. Don't want it to go over your head. The root and the 5 in the chord. I'm going to be playing a song in the key of G. This is what they're doing it in. I have an instrumental here of There's Power in the Blood, and I've also loaded up, or downloaded, uploaded the song, the lyrics and the chords, including Nashville numbers. It's only 3 chords. 3 chords in the song. That's all. That's all you need. A lot of songs that we do in hymnals are 3 chords. Some, at least one of them, only has 2. Some have more, but that gets you really good working start right there. So the chords are G, C, and D. Okay, I know you're not playing chords, you're playing the bass, but you have to match what you're playing with what is being played on either guitar, organ, keyboard, some type of a instrument that is playing chords. Okay, so when they're playing the G chord, we call this the 1 in the natural number system in that key. G is 1, C is 4, and D is 5. G, C, D, 1, 4, 5. It's also called tonic, subdominant, and dominant, but we just call them 1, 4, and 5. So that's a really good way to learn how to play songs. Have the lyrics written out and have the chords written over the word that the song changes on. So if you know how the song goes, you can sing it, then you know you're already anticipating where you need to change your chords or where you need to change on the bass as well. When they're playing the G chord, we're going to play G and D. You can also do it this way. Okay? So that's the 1 and the 5 in the G chord. G, B, D. We're not playing B right now because we're trying to make it really simple. Okay. Then when it changes to the C chord, you're playing C and G. That's what we call 1, 5, 1, 5, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. Then when they play the D chord, you're playing D and A, which is both open. Do it that way. Playing. Or you can play it. Okay, and I'll just be going back and forth between those three for the duration of the song. Okay, and what really will motivate you, because you need to be motivated when you're trying to learn an instrument or practice an instrument. The bass is notorious for can be boring if you're all by yourself. Okay, who gets on a stage and plays a bass and sings, and that's all that they have? Nobody, right? Who does this at home? I don't even sit and play bass and sing with the bass, but I put on some music and play along with the music. Or you practice in a band, or you perform in a band, or you play with a band in church, or a group of people, where you call them a band, or bandolier, or bandette, or whatever you is, band-aid. If you help them, you're a band-aid. Okay, so stick with that, right? Boom, boom. All right, no drummers here. Okay, no rim shots. So I'm going to play along with the song so you can hear it and kind of see how it goes. All right. Here's the intro. G, C, G, D, G, G, C, D, G. Something I noticed when I was preparing this, and you may have picked it up on it, the verse, called progression, which is the order of the chords. Progression in the verse on this particular song is the same as the progression for the chorus. So if you learn how to play the verse, you've got the whole song memorized, because the chorus doesn't change at all. It's the same order of chords. They stay on the same number of measures for each chord. And not only that, here's a little bonus for you. The verse is 8 measures long, and the chorus is also 8 measures long. The first half of the verse is identical to the second half of the verse. What's that mean? If you learn the first 4 measures of the song, you know how to play the whole song. What do you say? If you learn the first half of the verse, you can play the second half of the verse because it's the same as the first. And once you get those 8 measures down, you go into the chorus, and those 8 measures in the chorus are the same as the 8 measures in the verse. So you see how simple it is on this particular song. A lot of times when they go into the chorus, they'll change and go into a different chord. They won't go from the 1 up to the 4. In this case, it starts and ends on the 1. So it's pretty easy to do that. All right. So that's basically it. This is without backing track. To be free from your burden of sin. There's power in the blood. Power in the blood. If daily praises to sing. Power in the blood. Power in the blood. Power, power, wonder-working power in the blood of the Lamb. Power, power, wonder-working power in the precious blood of the Lamb. Boom. All right. Add some other instruments and you got a whole band. There you go. So that's it for now. Okay, practice with a metronome. Keep on tempo. practice with some tracks like this. You can find them on YouTube, instrumental or otherwise. And this song is in the public domain, so don't have to worry about any copyright stuff for that. So look it up on the website under Music Lovers, and the lyrics and chords are there. I know we normally will do it in the key of A. It's written in the key of A. This particular track, they're playing it in G. Not a big difference. That's part of the reason why I put the natural number system on there, so you can say, well, it says A, but it also says 1. If you're key of A, you're playing it in A, but if you're playing in the key of G, then use the 1 as your G, and just do 1, 4, 5, G, C, D instead of A, D, E. All right, just bring them all down, or bring them all up a whole step. So that's it. All right, very nice. Have a great evening or morning, whenever you call me or see me. All right, I'm going to head on off here.